Hey guys, I'm Miss Jessica here with Master Toulier, and we're here to talk about some back to school tips. Can you believe that it's back to school season already?
It seems like the summer just got here. And now
I,
it's over.
I know it flew by so fast, and it's already August. As you can tell, it's 100 degrees outside. So let's talk about some back to school tips that we use as parents and also as instructors in the school. So one of the first back to school tips that we have is setting up a healthy sleep pattern.
Yeah, it's really important that kids get enough sleep on a regular basis to make sure that their brains are functioning well when they're back at school, right? So, how do you guys handle that in your household, Jessica?
So we have something that's called non-negotiable bedtimes and wake-up times. So our kids have to be in their rooms at 8 o'clock at night, and we also make sure that they're off their devices an hour before bedtime. So that gives them a chance to wind down and also gives them some family time.
Yeah, and studies show that by taking that time an hour before you go to bed, it allows your brain to calm down and you get better sleep.
Absolutely, because the devices are set up like the sun. So it's actually emitting light like the sun is emitting, so your brain's not ready to settle down.
Yeah. So make sure, parents, that hour before bed, we're turning off those devices and take time to spend some time, quality time with your family at the time. It's a great opportunity. So what are some other things you guys are doing?
So we also want to make sure that we put our kids on a brain strengthening diet. And it's not just for our kids, it's for us too. These are all tips that we can use as well. So, in the summer, do your kids snack a lot?
My kids eat snacks like crazy, especially my son.
Yeah, so they like eat first breakfast, second breakfast, third breakfast.
Donuts.
Yeah, all that sugary
Pop-Tarts,
stuff.
right.
Yeah. So we want to make sure that we put our kids on this brain strengthening diet. It's not for weight loss. Now we want to make sure we know that it's not for weight loss, but it's just to give the brain the protein that it needs. So can you talk to us about what the brain needs?
So one of the things that we're talking about is the fact that when you're having a great breakfast, what do you want in a breakfast? You want to have breakfast that are foods that burn slowly and foods that burn fast, because you need different types of fuel in your body.
Yeah.
So proteins are going to burn slower. Eggs, bacon, ham, things of that nature. Breakfast foods, breakfast proteins. Sugary things like cereals and donuts are going to burn really, really fast. And we want to make sure that our kids are getting that balanced breakfast, because we want it to carry them all the way from breakfast to lunch, so they're not hungry and thinking, oh my God, what's coming next? When do I get to eat? And instead of focusing on what's being presented as far as learning material.
Yeah, sugars burn really fast. So long about 9 o'clock, the kid's gonna be thinking my stomach's growling.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm hungry, and I'm not thinking about the math problem that's on the board. So
Hard to focus, right?
it is, and we find it too as adults too.
Sure.
We want to make sure that we get that healthy brain strengthening diet too. So what's the third tip?
Third tip is making sure we have great lines of communication with our kids, right? We want to make sure that we are not only communicating with our children as far as how was their day, but making sure that we're their biggest fans. When they get off the bus or when they get in the car to get that carpool ride home, we tend as parents want to bombard them with a lot of questions. Hey honey, how was your day?
Right.
Did you bite anyone?
And that's a real question for a 3-year-old. But what we find is that even as adults, that we don't like to get bombarded as soon as we're finished with our work day. We need that car ride to decompress and things like that. So if your child gives you one-word answers, then maybe back off a little bit and give them some time to decompress. And then when they look like they're ready, ask those specific questions. Like, what was the best part of your day? And then you're leading them into giving those answers. What was the low part of your day? And if they had a fight with a friend, then it gives them a chance to tell you about it.
Sure. And then, it also gives you an opportunity to let them slow down and have an opportunity to, like you just said, decompress. And then they're more willing to communicate with you. And remember, kids are people too, right?
That's right.
So, and where were we going after that, Chad?
So we're going to talk about tip number 4. This is the last tip. So you as a parent and we as parents are responsible for building our child's self-confidence at every opportunity. And you're thinking, how do I do that? Well, one of the things is that you're your child's biggest fan. Whether they're playing basketball, doing martial arts, or dancing, you want to make sure that as soon as they're done with that activity, that you're giving them some real good feedback, but positive feedback. You want to be their fan and not their biggest critic. So they're going to get the critic stuff from their coaches and things like that, but you want to make sure that they're learning that you're in their corner at every opportunity.
You know, how many times have you seen parents on the sidelines at the school, and you've got different types of parents, right? You have the helicopter parents that
Yes.
are always hovering, and then you've got the parents that are stuck in their devices, and then you watch them when they step off the mat, and you can see some of these parents, some of them are giving hugs and hey, great class, and then you see the other parents that from time to time, hey, you could have done that better, and we wind up having to coach not only the kids but the parents too, right?
Yes.
So we want to make sure that we, as you said, that we are super, super positive role models for our kids, and that we're their biggest fans all the way across the board, and we do that in martial arts all the time.
We do. And one of the things is that as a parent, you are going to be their first positive role model. And so, but you also want to seek out other positive role models for your kids so that they're not always just listening to you. Because honestly, as parents, do our kids always listen to us?
My kids rarely listen to me.
They tend to tune you out after a time, but if you have that other positive role model, then they're getting that reinforcement that they need. So let's recap our top 4 back to school tips. So healthy sleep pattern, right?
Well, make sure they've got a scheduled time that they're waking up and a scheduled time that they're going to bed at, right? And we don't break those times. We make sure we stay focused on it.
Right, those are non-negotiable times. Brain strengthening diet. You want to make sure that your kids are getting that good healthy breakfast in the morning, not the sugary cereal, not the sugary donuts that's going to burn off, and at 9 o'clock they're just going to be just kind of staring off into space.
Sure, and you know, if you want to add some types of sugar in it, fruits and vegetables are great
Yes,
ways to
absolutely.
do that, and great protein
Yes.
sources, right?
So we want to keep the lines of communication open. So you want to make sure that you're asking those probing questions, but you're also giving your child a chance to decompress from his day. And then the last one is that you're looking for that self-confidence outlets for your children, not just at home, but in other places too. And here at American Family Martial Arts, that is the one thing that we do really well. That we can be that positive role model in your child's life that's going to give your child that self-confidence through their physical, their intellectual, and their emotional and social development needs. And we'll also be that sounding board for you as a parent as well.
Yep. You know, and that's one of the things I love about my job.
Oh, I love my job. It is awesome. So, parents, I hope that you use these back to school tips, and if you have any questions for us, just pop them in the comments below, and we look forward to seeing you in class.
Yeah, and if you want to get in touch with us, you can always check us out on the web at AmericanFamilyMA.com, or you can give us a call at 225-272-5425. We'd love to help you out. Hope you have a great school year. Looking forward to seeing you in class soon. Tang Su.